Let's just come to the other one. Which of the following statements are true with regard to the Gram Sabha? Gram Sabha are authorized to suggest policies for village development. Gram Sabha have legal backing in 73rd and 74th Constitutional Amendment Acts. They have somewhat diluted the bureaucratic monopoly. Gram Sabha play a crucial role in urban local governance, and they are considered as the watchdogs. Which one are your correct options among these following statements? So here your correct answer is your second one. How many options are correct? How many statements are correct? Here your options A, C, and E. I mean your statements A, C, and E are correct. How? See, Gram Sabhas are authorized to suggest policies for village development, but that is their role. Gram Sabha have legal backing in the 73rd and 74th of Constitutional Amendment Act. 73rd we can say, but not 74. So this statement goes wrong. They have somewhat diluted the bureaucratic monopoly. Yes, they have done that, and they've done a wonderful job in doing that. D, Gram Sabhas plays crucial role in urban local governance. No, because Gram Sabha are for the rural areas and not associated with urban, right? So D is not right. They are considered as the watchdogs. Right. So here your A, C, and E is your correct answer. All right. Moving to the another one. Which of the following statement about distance education in India is true? It replaces the formal education. It reduces the cost of education. It enhances the access to education. It supplements the formal education, and it hampers the formal education. Which one do you think is right? Which of the following statements in this one are right regarding to distance education in India are true? Right. So here you see, it's very easy to eliminate answer in such type of question, because with some of the statements, you can already tell that at least this option is not there, so that you can anyway eliminate from these given options, from these 4 options, right? For example, it replaces the formal education. No. It enhances, it reduces the cost of education. For example, B1 is everybody sure about that the distance education is something that reduces the cost of education. So we'll see in how many these given options B exist. First and second. So third and fourth are of no use. So to eliminate them from the very beginning. Now see which statement is right. So here what is common? Here B and C are common. So see, B and C are right. Now this tug of war is between A and D. So you just see either A is right or D is right. Right? It replaces the formal education. It supplements the formal education. Here you have to answer it. Either it supplements or it replaces. So here your answer is, of course, it supplements and it does not replaces the formal sort of education, right? So here your second is your answer. All right. What are the features of self-help groups? So here, how you are trying to understand this, what is SHG? So I have given you 25 seconds to solve this question, right? So here, let's just see what is the correct answer. Or for those of you over here, those who do not know what SHG is, so let's just also understand what is basically an SHG, right? So here, what is an SHG? So here, what they have given it, they have given the features, right? But for you to understand what is SHG, so basically self-help groups, we have all studied in our 9th to 10th standard what SHGs are. So SHGs are your informal groups of people who come together to address their common problems, right? So while self-help might imply a focus on the individual only, but one important characteristics of self-help groups is that basically it is the idea of mutual support, that is people helping each other, right? So that is the meaning of self-help groups. So here self-help groups, people, informal people or groups of people, they come together to address their common problem, right? That's what they do, right? So, and what is also there is this is basically an informal association among people. And from where this concept of SHG began, or who is the founder or who began this concept of SHG, right? So the concept of SHG initially started at Bangladesh by Dr. Muhammad Yunus. And he has also been awarded Nobel Prize for the same, right? So if they ask you in your examination who coined this concept of, or who introduced this concept of self-help groups, this concept of self-help group been started by whom? This has been started by from Bangladesh by Dr. Muhammad Yunus, right? And the first SHG of women workers was started in the year 1983. So he is the founder of SHG, right? And currently the government schemes are also going on. So here SHG is as in, you see what is basically it is. So as we all know that SHG here, the features that are given, that with this, that as I told you already, that it's a self-help group. So it's basically a village-based financial intermediary, right? So here we have 15 to 20 local women. They gather together, and most self-help groups are located in localities only. Women form their informal group, right? So through these SHGs, what they do is basically they contribute some money, right? And there is also a theme for it. I mean, these SHGs follow that save first and credit later. So what these women do, that 10, 15 to 10 women, what they do is they form an informal group, right? An informal association where all of these women, they note their savings, how much money they are saving. For example, 10 rupees, we all women are saving, and thereafter, if any of the group member needs, then we can lend it to her, right, on some small number of interest, right? So that's what these people do. This is what the concept of SHG is all about, right? And thereafter, let us also understand. So in the year 1999, Government of India also introduced one of the very important scheme, that was this Swarn Jayanti Gram Swarojgar Yojana. So what was this? Basically, this was to improve self-employment in rural areas, right? Through formation and skilling of SHG. So basically the SHG is not just a concept, it's basically it is a form of rural development as well, because here people are promoted to self-employ in rural areas. For example, women are given training through this. Women are also given training, for example, pickle making and incense sticks making. So that's what, to give them a source of, or to begin some income generation activity, right? So here, basically, their formation and skilling of SHGs is done, right? So this program, this SGSY, which is your Swarn Jayanti Gram Swarojgar Yojana, this was started in the year 1999. So this program evolved as a national movement in 2011 and then become a NRLM. So here, if they ask you in your examination what NRLM was known earlier, which is your National Rural Livelihood Mission. So the NRLM was earlier known as Swarn Jayanti Gram Swarojgar Yojana, right? And it is the world's biggest poverty alleviation program, right? And currently, also in the recent budget as well, the Union Cabinet also approved central sector scheme for providing loans to the women self-help groups, and with an outlay of around 100 to 61 crores rupees, right, for the year 2024 to 25. And the recent budget also, if you pick up, so here, and also, many of you might have heard of NABARD, right? So here, NABARD, what it had done, NABARD is also implementing and supporting the women SHG schemes, right? And that's what they do, right? So I hope it is quite clear to you. If they ask you in an examination, for example, they give you two, three schemes, and they ask you that what is the scheme is about. So they can also ask you that this Vishwakarma scheme also. So basically, this Vishwakarma scheme, what is it about? Your Vishwakarma scheme is about your this to strengthen and nurture all these, basically these craftsmen and these people, and where they belong to, these small traditional craftsmen and artisans, where these people belong to, they belong to these SHGs only, right? So I hope with this it is clear to you. Features of SHG, you see that the A1, which is decision regarding the saving and loan activities, are taken by the group members. Yes, it is very much correct. Second one, people from their personal groups for the purpose of saving and also lend money among themselves. True, very correct. Right? Rate of interest is higher than the informal service provider. No, it is not. It is not right, because that is why these women have formed their group, or these people have formed their group, so that they can decide the rate of interest they want to share among themselves, right? All right. And D, they can also avail loans from bank if their savings are regular. Yes, true. There is a bank sakhi also employed in the banks also, right? She's known as the bank sakhi. So even if you see in the Grameen banks or in the rural banks, you see there is already one of the women employed over there to deal with these things, that to avail loan for these women, right? Those who belong to an SHG, right? So here on the SHG's name, women can also avail loan from the banks as well if their savings are regular. So their score is, their records are being checked and all that thing, right? So D point is also correct. E, small savings in the group helps member to borrow money at high rate of interest. This is not very much correct. Okay, so here we see A, B, and D stands to be your correct, right? So here the answer for option number A first would be very much right. All right, with this, let's just move to the other one. Which of the following schemes provide financial and labor support to houseless families and those living in dilapidated kacha houses to build pakka houses initiated by the Ministry of Rural Development in 2016. So here you see what are those schemes, which scheme is this, right? Under which scheme this lies? Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, Gramin or Pradhan Mantri National Rural Reconstruction, Indira Awas Yojana, or your Pradhan Mantri Sehkari Awas Yojana. So here in this one, we know that post 2014, right? After post 2014, it is not Indira Awas Yojana. So then which one it is? Yes. So the answer is the first one, Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, the Gramin one, right? So here, what was this scheme particularly was about? This was about this schemes provided financial and labor support to the houseless families and those living in the poor kacha houses to build their pakka houses, right? And this was started by 2000 in the year 2016 by the Ministry of Rural Development. So what was this scheme about? This was Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Gramin. Okay, this was about this. According to the Malthusian theory of population growth, which one is the correct answer? While population increase in arithmetic progression, agriculture production can only grow in geometric progression. The second one is while production increases in linear geographic progression, population can grow in arithmetic mean regression. While population rises in geometric progression, agriculture production can only grow in arithmetic progression. And the fourth one is while population grows in geometric progression, total production can grow in arithmetic progression. So which one is your correct answer regarding this one? So here, according to your Malthusian theory of population growth, this states that while the population rises in geometric progression, agriculture production can only grow in arithmetic progression. So here, third one is your correct answer, right? Let's just move forward. Here, you have to match the following. This list, the theory, right? The theories with their propounders. Who propounded these theories? So here, the theory of hierarchy of needs, psychoanalytical theory, psychosocial development theory, and theory of moral development. These theory have been propounded by whom? So you have to give the correct answers. So here, the fourth option stands to be correct because here you see the theory of hierarchy of needs has been given by whom? This has been given by Maslow, right? Psychoanalytical theory has been given by whom? This is given by Simon Freud. And the C1 psychodevelopment theory has been given by whom? This has been given by Erik Erikson. And the fourth one, that is the theory of moral development, has been given by Lawrence Kohlberg, right? So all these theories have been matched by their propounders. So here the fourth option stands to be the correct one. All right, let's just move to the other one. The rights and responsibility associated with the person's social position or status is known as what? Is it known as a self-esteem, social image, social roles, or your ascribed status? So here, as per this question, social role stands to be a correct answer because the right and responsibility associated with the person's social position or status is known as their social roles in the society, right? And individual social roles. All right, moving forward, let's just come to the other question. Which of the following conditions are valid with regard to employment in the unorganized sector? So here you see these five options, five statements are given to you. Which one stands to be the correct one? So the sense of insecurity prevail as people may be terminated from jobs on slight pretext. B, jobs are low paid and often not regular. C, workers in the unorganized sector enjoy security of employment. D, these are small and scattered units which are largely outside the control of the government. And E statement, the working units and workers are registered by the government and have to follow its rules and regulation. So which one stands to, which statement stands to be the correct one? Kindly give your answer. That which of the following conditions are valid with regard to employment in the unorganized sector? So here we see that sense of insecurity prevail as people may be terminated from jobs, right? Even on the slide pretext as well. So here you understand that unorganized sector, when people are employed in the unorganized sector, for example, they are rickshawala or they are running their own stalls or they're the vegetable vendors, right? Or they are working they're working with someone, right? So here these are unorganized sector because there is no formal settings over there, right? Or there's no job security over there. So here you see which one stands to be the correct over here. Sense of insecurity is there. First one stands to be correct, yeah. All right. Second one is, of course, jobs are low paid and often irregular. There are low labor securities as well, right? So here, second one also stands to be correct. Workers in the unorganized sector enjoy security for employment. No, that is what they fear from, right? So C is not right. D, these are small and scattered units which are largely outside the control of the government. Yeah, true. Stands very correct, right? And E, the working units and workers are registered by the government and have to follow its rule and regulation. No, no, no. They are outside the ambit of the government. That is why they are called as the unorganized sector, right? All right. So here your second option stands to be the correct one. The classification of psychological disorder officially that is used in India is classified under what? Is it ICD-5, that is the International Classification of Disease, edition 5, international class, or the ICD-10, that is the classification of behavioral and mental disorders. Third one, Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorder, that is the DSM-5, or the Diagnosis and Sorting of Mental Morbidities Manual, DSM-10. So which one stands to be the correct one in this way? Stands to be correct. So if you see this question, so here data from India, right? So which support the ICD-10 category. So here in India, we support this one, right? ICD-10, we refer to this for the category of the psychological disorder, right? Rather than your DSM-5. Because what is your DSM-5 basically? DSM-5 is for your classification of psychological disorder that is used by the American one, okay? So I hope it is quite clear to you. The American one and the other one, right? All right. So here what we use in India, so second one stands to be a correct answer. And if we, for this classification of psychological disorders, that is followed by the American one. So this is your DSM-5, which is your third option, right? Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, right? I hope it is clear to you. All right. A cultural phenomenon that is characterized by the intermingling or mixing of different religions or tradition is known as what? Is it assimilation, Sanskritization, syncretism, or interactionism? Which is this one? We have already read this as well, so I hope it will be very easy for you to answer this question. To understand such a question, we'll also understand four of these points. We'll also discuss four of these points as well. So here, what does assimilation mean? So you have a clear understanding which one is your correct answer. So assimilation is basically, it is described as a process by which a minority integrates socially, culturally, and or politically into a larger dominant culture, right? And society. So this term assimilation, basically, it is often used in reference to immigrants and ethnic group that are settling in a new land, right? So what they are doing is a process by which a minority is integrating into the larger dominant culture, right? All right. And here, when we talk about the Sanskritization, so what is Sanskritization basically? Sanskritization is a process of cultural change towards twice-born caste. So here, Sanskritization is basically, it is said that it is a process where the lower caste people, right, they adopt the cultural patterns and practices of the higher caste people to raise their status in the status of hierarchical order. For example, a Dalit is following the culture and patterns of a Brahmin, right? That this procedure is known as Sanskritization to increase their social status or increase their status in the caste hierarchical order. So that is Sanskritization. What is syncretism? Syncretism is basically, it is your amalgamation or attempted amalgamation of different religions, cultures, or school of thought. For example, if you see that in this question, it very much matches syncretism because the merging of different inflectional varieties of word during the development of a language. So this is also known as syncretism. So here, let's just understand with the help of an example that what syncretism is. So what is an example of syncretism in India? For example, there is Allah Upanishad. Okay, Allah Upanishad is or the Allah Upanishad. So basically, you see that these are two different religions. Okay, so Allah Upanishad is basically, it's a Sanskrit text that is believed to have been written during the 16th or 17th century during the reign of Akbar, right? When he was during his reign in India, during his reign of Akbar. So this is also one of the example over here of syncretism, where there is syncretism and Satpanth. Satpanth is also a thing where it is also considered a syncretism of Ismaili, that is Islam and Hinduism, right? So here, this is known as that. Interactionism. So when we talk about interactionism, what is it basically? It is a philosophy that it is a theory that there are two entities, for example, your mind and body, and each of which can have an effect on each other, right? So the theory of interactionism, what does it states about? It states that it is basically, it's a micro sociological perspective that argues the meaning to be produced through the interaction of individuals, right? The social interaction is basically, it's a face-to-face process consisting of actions, reaction, mutual adaptation between two or more individuals with the goal of communicating with each other. So what is this basically? It is your interactionism, right? So here the correct answer is your third one, which is your syncretism, okay? I hope it is quite clear to you.